All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 15 of Natty and Not. We are your hosts,
I am Alexis and I am Natty.
and I am Mike, and I'm not. So, one thing I wanted to talk about this week was kind of pet peeves at the gym. And
Oh, okay.
by far, and this happened to me a couple times this week, my biggest pet peeve is specifically dumbbell related. And it's
It's
when,
dumbbell related. Okay.
yeah, it's specifically when people put weights back that are clearly marked with like a big number on the
Oh,
side of the weights, and then the number is right on the rack where they
yeah.
go,
Where they go.
and people do not fucking put them back in the right spot. That drives me fucking wild.
Do you fix it?
I will fix it right after, like as they're walking away, and I'll be like, "I got it," just like obnoxiously, like
So
you
you're just
fucking
passive aggressive about it?
yeah. I mean, I don't make it like I don't you know hip check anybody and be like you fucking idiot.
You fucking asshole. You stupid
Uh,
idiot. Look at what you're doing.
No, I just like try to be as loud as possible, but everyone's got headphones in too, so it's like nobody
Yeah,
fucking
no
heard
one
me.
hears. No one fucking hears anything.
That drives me wild. And then the second thing, also with the dumbbell rack,
Also, okay.
when somebody starts doing fucking lateral raises or whatever shit,
Like right in front.
2 inches from the fucking rack, who the
That
fuck are
is really
you to
obnoxious.
block all those goddamn weights?
Because you really are blocking. I mean, if you're doing raises or bicep curls, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck you're doing, and you're right there, you're blocking a minimum of like 10 sets of weights.
Oh my god, at least yeah, 6 feet across, left and right, right?
Yeah.
It's just like unbelievable.
And then I feel like the asshole that really pisses me off too. And then I feel like the asshole trying to go in front of them. I'm like, oh, excuse me. Like, get the fuck out of the way, you stupid piece of shit.
What I start doing is like if I need to get weights that are right in front of them, I like point. I like get close to them while they're doing whatever the fuck they're doing. I point in front of them and like I need those, and then they're like,
Oh,
like let me do this awkward 3-step shuffle back. I'm an asshole.
oh. You know what's funny is like when we at our old gym, that used to happen all the time to me, and it would really piss me off.
Yeah,
But those weren't labeled. So people would constantly be putting them back in the wrong places all the time. And I'd get really huffy and I would just start fucking idiot, fucking asshole. And I'd move them around and I'd fix them.
yeah.
I have not run into that at our current gym at all, I don't think.
No, it's happened to me. And then probably third, I guess, on my list is like just
Oh, you
no.
have more.
Yeah, just last one.
Okay.
Nobody like putting weights back, like leaving machines with like plates on plates on plates, and you're
I
just like,
hate when people leave their shit
come on.
loaded. Right. I thought you were going to say putting them back where they're supposed to be because they're not where they're never where they're supposed to be. Like all like
Yeah.
the yellow 35s together, right? And like it's
Oh,
never like that.
yeah, sure. That doesn't bother me as much, but
Well, it only bothered me when I dropped a fucking 5-pound plate on my foot from like 3 pegs up. That
mm,
fucking sucked
on your foot.
because someone had they're on the squat racks, you'll have like your regular like flat plates.
Mm,
And then there's rubber plates in that area too, but those aren't for the squat rack. But the squat rack plates only go up to 10 or down to 10. So there's always like random rubber 5s hanging on there. And they're so much smaller than like the big wide plates.
mm.
And there was a 5 sandwiched between like 2 10s. And I just was pulling off like the big 10s. My eyes didn't even see the small 5, pulled it off, and it fucking dropped right on the top of my foot. I was like, fucking assholes. Don't fucking do that. Why would you do that?
Smashed your tootsies.
It hurt. My tootsies hurt. It
I
was
know.
like right on the top of my foot. And it was like right after I smashed my foot on the side of our bed and I thought I broke my fucking foot. My ankle still hurts every once in a while, by the way, from that. That was
Well,
crazy.
what are
I
you gonna
smashed
do?
it on like the footboard, whatever. It
Yeah,
hurt. I thought I broke my leg.
yeah. It was a
That was right at that point.
loud thud.
It was a loud thud. So those are your 3. Do you have more?
No, I think that's it. Those are my big 3.
Okay.
I'm sure there's other little shit, but I'm like, it didn't make the list. What about you?
The people in front of, so that's like a dumb one. I find it annoying, but I wouldn't rant about it. I don't do as many like dumbbell moves as you do though. So I'm just not, I'm probably just not over there enough.
Yeah.
Um, this really pissed me off. It was Thursday, and in like the back room where all the leg machines are, there's like two Smith machines, shitty Smith machines right next to each other. And there's typically a bench under each one, to the side of each one, pulled out, but like there's two benches back there. So it's typically one for each Smith machine, right?
Mhm.
The guy, I was going to one Smith, he was on the other. He had one bench under the Smith machine. And then he was like supersetting. There was a bench set up right behind him with like dumbbells next to it. So it looked like clearly it was in use. And he was just supersetting between the two things, taking up two fucking benches. So I went up to him and I was just like, "Are you using this?" Because I wanted to use it. And he was just like, "Yeah, I'm using it." And I looked at him, I was like, "Both of them? You're fucking using both of them?"
Yeah.
So fucking bad. And then I just did whatever I needed to do, and like real janky. It wasn't great, but I was like, I'm not fucking standing around waiting for this guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Two benches. So my pet peeve is when you're supersetting, which is fine. But if you're taking up multiple pieces of equipment like that, that shouldn't, fuck you. Have
Yeah.
consideration for other people. That makes me really, really mad.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have to give that up as soon as somebody else wants it, because you can't do two machines like that.
I saw, yeah. Yeah, there was one instance I saw of that where like a guy was going over to the cable machines and then coming back over to the rear delts, and he would just leave his phone on the seat for the rear delt machine and then walk all the way back over to the cable machine. I'm like, damn, that's a hell of a distance to be like, you know, basically calling dibs on two machines. Yeah, if it's empty,
I will say,
whatever,
if the gym is like empty, whatever. But also, though, if
Sure.
somebody wants to use it, you should give it up.
Yeah.
Go for your other machine, come back to that one when you're done. But like when it's a medium busy or higher, I don't think you should be allowed to do that. Why? So you know how like Planet Fitness has like that lunk alarm? I don't know if I've never been there, but like they advertise it. I think there should be like a fucking asshole alarm, and you could fucking smack it.
I think they're one and the same. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they are the same, but
Yeah.
Gold's Gym should fucking do another thing.
Yeah. What about
it's annoying.
Any other pet peeves?
I'm sure I do have more.
Okay.
Can you are you thinking of one for me that I'm not thinking of?
No.
Okay.
I can't think of any more. I was just trying to.
No. Oh, the other thing, I don't do cardio very often. I'll typically only do it like on like my deload week, or like maybe a little later in prep. But I hate when somebody comes up to the machine next to you. So if you're on a cardio machine and there's 10 things available, 5 things available, and there was enough for there to have been a space between you, and they come up to the one next to you. Who the fuck does that? Get out of here.
You know what that's called?
Being an asshole?
Yes, it's also something else. That's in the men's room. That's called urinal etiquette. If you're standing,
same thing. Yeah.
If there's enough room for you to spread out, why do you have to go to the stall? You trying to see my dick? What do you want? What do you want over here? You want to catch a peek?
Jesus.
Yeah, it's just that's urinal etiquette.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't need you. I don't need to feel your breath near me. Go, you skip one. Yeah. Skip one. That's the only fair thing. So this week is Thanksgiving. Wow. I'm really curious what your stance is going to be on Thursday. Are you having cheat meal pause, or time in, time outs all day? You bought that fancy ass cheese. You spent like $150 on some fancy ass cheese.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And there will be no macro tracking on Thanksgiving.
Okay. That's what I want.
I'm going to be a little macro slut. And I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. Slut? I'm going to be a little macro. Slutty. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little macro slut. I'm gonna eat the charcuterie board, and I'm gonna eat all the good things.
Okay, good. Because when you asked me if I was going to track the macros on the dressing and like the
You,
stuffing, I was like, fuck you. I mean, I'll do it, but
we
like, really, babe?
we have in the past. That's why I was like, are we doing this?
I know we have in the
But
past, but I wasn't planning on doing it this year because neither of us are in prep yet. So I thought it was a good, yeah, it's fucking Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourself.
yeah, I'm down.
I'm not gonna enter in a bajillion ingredients into a thing and
My
weigh
macro conscious is going to be on sleep mode.
sleep.
It's going to be sleep, and the little fat kid inside me is going to be up and at it.
Yeah, good. So one thing I think would be cool to talk about. So we eat plant-based.
Yeah,
Number one, what are we eating for Thanksgiving? What did we get? What are we
yeah.
planning on doing?
Just freshly mowed clippings from the lawn.
Lawn clipping.
Yeah. It's organic. Why are you laughing?
It's vegan. Comes from the earth, the plant.
Yep.
It was grown.
Yep.
But what's your favorite? So we should talk about what are we going to eat? And then I really want to know what you're the most excited for. To start with, what are you the most excited for?
Oof. This is gonna sound silly, but
No.
I am all about like Thanksgiving, like turkey sandwiches, and we eat like a fake vegan turkey, um, like on rye bread the day after with
Yeah.
like all the fixins on it. So like 2 pieces of rye bread, slice of like meat, stuffing, cranberry sauce, coleslaw, boom, one sandwich, and
Delicious.
that's like I love that so much. Um, and I know it's silly because it's like in the moment you're like, oh, you have all these things fresh, and then for whatever reason, the day after is like
Because then it's like
it's
cold.
it's the best. I don't know. I can't
Do we
explain
get
it.
good rye bread here? I can't remember. It's not like Jersey rye
Great,
bread.
great question. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be just like a fucking yeah,
It's
whatever
gonna be more
loaf of.
bready. It's not as now like growing up with rye bread. Rye bread has that like super firm yet like soft texture. I'm assuming the flavor is rye. It's got that like very like soury kind of like a taste to it, and it's hearty.
Yep,
Best sandwich bread, right? And it like rips like a certain way.
yep,
Oh, my
the
mouth is
best.
like watering.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
you, gluten. Ugh, I
yeah,
want rye bread now.
yeah.
We've never
So
had good rye bread since So we both, disclosure, we both grew up in Central Jersey.
yeah,
We lived there until we like right after graduating high school, and then we haven't lived in Jersey since then. We went to high school together. Um, but like Jersey and their bread, like New York area and like their bread, so fucking good.
yeah, bagels
Nothing
too.
compares.
Yep, bagels, pizza,
Bagels,
everything.
pizza.
Hmm.
Yo, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
This is like making my mouth water. So sandwiches is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, like in the moment, like we got a bunch of cheeses for Rebel Cheese. I'm like really excited to try all those.
Yeah, let's talk about all of like how do you make X vegan? So
Yeah.
let's talk about what our menu is, and then we can talk about like how is each one of these things vegan.
Yes. Yeah. So let's start with the appetizers, which is going to be like a charcuterie board. We're going to do
Charcuterie board. Yeah.
a bunch of cheeses that are, gosh, I wish I knew every milk that they were made with, but it's like
Most of them have like a cashew milk in
cashew.
them
Yeah. Yep.
because that's just like a super when you so like to make like a quote cheese out of cashews, if like you soak them in like boiling water to like really soften them up and then blend them, this consistency is like so fatty and creamy and like it makes like for like a really good like fake cheese sauce. But Rebel Cheese out of Austin, they
Yes.
were on Shark Tank. Holy
Oh, that's cool. I
shit.
didn't know that.
Yeah. They were on Shark Tank and then they like blew up. But their cheeses are just phenomenal. They're out of
Mm.
Austin. They're great.
Yeah. So
Best thing ever.
semi local to us, and so they had like a Thanksgiving sampler box,
Hmm.
and so we got aged cheddar.
Okay.
We
Oh, you
had
remember them.
I remember like 3 of them, three
Okay.
out of the 5.
I'm like,
There's
oh God,
a
you memorized it.
Yeah, well, I'm excited.
Was this like
Um,
this was like a very post show
oh yeah, no,
order?
it was
You ordered a ton of shit like those first few weeks.
yeah. First couple weeks, I was going to town, but um, so it's aged cheddar. There's a
Mhm.
brie.
Okay.
Then they have like this like garlic herb pecan like
Yeah.
thing, and then there's two other ones that I can't remember what they are, but oh, I think it's like a I'm gonna it's like a ch. Damn, I can't think of the name of it now.
Mm.
Um, anyway, but
So there's
two
like
two
five
other
cheeses, right?
five cheeses, and they're just like if you were to go get like a cool charcuterie board somewhere, like all those same cheeses but plant based, which is pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and
There's like
then
jams and shit too, right?
yeah, well, no, this one didn't come
And
with
like a
jam, but we
sausage. Did
but
this
we
one come
do
with like a
have
sausagey thing?
no, we didn't get that one. We didn't get that
Okay.
one.
I couldn't remember. Okay.
Because
So
you were
charcuterie,
judging me as I was ordering it, so
because you were
eh,
spending, it was a lot of money.
you were
Anyway,
just like,
it's like, stop
stop
buying all this.
buying food, you fat shit, you fat shame me.
You
Uh,
were buying so much fucking.
I'm
I was like,
hungry.
babe, we spent so much money. You got to cool it. We just knock
Coach
it the
said I
fuck
had to
off.
put size on. Hello.
I know. I know. Look at you. You barely fit in the fucking frame anymore. Shut up. So we got the cheese. So our appetizer, charcuterie board, and
Yes.
it's gonna have like those cheeses, some jams. I'll put like some nuts and like chocolate and shit on there. And then we have to get like a sauce. So they do like plant-based sausage, which is like seitan.
Yeah.
Um,
We have it comes with the jams. It's like an onion
yeah, yeah,
jam.
yeah.
Yep.
No, the sausages.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get any,
Like
but
it,
yes.
I know. Well, it's still on like the list of things. So anyway, so like your typical charcuterie board.
Like a summer sausage type of thing.
Yeah. That's the appetite. I'll put that out early in the morning, and then everyone will like graze on that all day.
Yeah, especially while
I
we're
gotta
watching the
make
parade and stuff.
I gotta make my my like veggie dip.
Yeah, the spinach dip. It's like a spinach cheese dip, which is so good.
It's got like I got that recipe. Oh my gosh, like 20 years ago. I've been
Yeah, you've
making that
been
forever.
yeah, every year it's like a staple.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so those are appetizers.
yep.
What are we doing for dinner?
Dinner we are doing we're probably going to do like this. It's a a sausage loaf that has like a croissant or like a phyllo dough like casing,
Hmm.
and then we'll also do it's a like a turkey, uh, and that'll also be kind of like a loaf, but it's basically it's all pea protein and seitan, um, and that has like a little bit of stuffing in it. Um, we'll be doing that for like the main course,
Yeah,
and then sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes. We're gonna be
mashed
doing
potatoes. So
homemade.
mashed potatoes, you use like a heavy cream, like an oat milk if you wanted to. I don't usually put milk in it, but I do like a plant-based butter in it.
Yeah, yep. And then you make this amazing stuffing, um, which is go ahead. I want to steal your thunder here.
No, it's I do like half cornbread and then half like garlic and herb bread.
Yeah,
And I'm like I like make the bread and then I bake it down to like make the croutons. And then that's just so good. You could put like pecans in it if you weren't allergic like I am.
mm,
You could put like like a sausage in it too. We've done that
sure.
before.
Yeah,
But it's those two types of bread and then I put dried cranberries in it too, which just like makes it
yeah,
like a little sweet. Oh, so
yeah.
good.
It gives a little tartness to it, which is great.
Mhm.
And then the coleslaw. That's like we love that coleslaw. It's like red and regular red cabbage and regular cabbage, and
Yeah.
I forget how the sauce is made, but it makes
It's
it
like
in a trash
it's
bag because it's like it makes so much food. It's like you can't mix it in anything else.
well, I mean, you think like 2 heads of shredded cabbage is
It's a
like
lot.
a fuck ton of volume.
Yeah.
And so this we always did this because my uncle did it. So like my uncle had my uncle passed away, geez, I don't know, like 25 years ago. I was like 8th grade, maybe early high school when my uncle passed away. But every holiday when we got together, it was like my uncle and his wife and their 2 kids, they were they definitely had more money than we did growing up. So we would always go over their house and their house was like super big and fancy, and they always seemed like fancy people when I was a kid. And the funnest thing is like my grandfather, my uncle would make coleslaw, all that shredded stuff, and he would mix it around in a trash bag. So you get like a clean trash bag, put it all in, put the dressing in, and then just like spin it closed. And he would be flopping in the kitchen like that. So it's like he started that tradition. So that is like the way
Yeah.
in my family. That's the only way to make coleslaw.
Yep. And I
And
love
it
it.
works fantastic.
I'm glad we've adopted that tradition because that coleslaw
Yeah,
is slamming.
it is pretty good. Okay,
Um,
so we're gonna do a turkey thing, potatoes and potatoes, coleslaw,
green beans.
green beans.
Yeah.
We don't do like a green bean casserole. We didn't grow up
Just
as like casserole people. I feel like
you know,
that's very like Midwest.
we'll just bake them. Yeah.
Just like
Steam them. Sorry. Yep.
steam them. And then what else are we doing? Pumpkin pie,
Pumpkin pie and pear pie.
which when you
Oh,
make pumpkin pie to veganize it instead of like heavy cream or like evaporated milk, you use cream of coconut in a can. It's like really thick and fatty. And then that's like the only thing in it that's not traditionally vegan. And then pie crusts. We can get a vegan pie crust. They sell those at the store. So they just use like the plant-based butter with them.
yeah.
So pumpkin pie, pear pie.
Yeah.
And we do pear pie because I can't have apples. And in
Yes.
all honesty, it tastes the same because I
It,
prepare it the same way. Like I don't
yeah.
make it different. I prepare it with like cinnamon and brown sugar and all the butter
Yeah.
and the good stuff.
Yeah. Just swap out dairy and pears or
Yeah.
apples, and
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
So that's really good. So we
Yep.
keep it simple. We don't do anything crazy. You want cornbread? I'm gonna make
Yeah.
cornbread.
Yeah, because we had like we were talking about it earlier, right? There's like we always do biscuits and like I think we eat like two and then then they're throwing, you know, 10
That's because
biscuits away.
I don't make them from scratch. I would buy them,
Yeah. And then
and
we'll buy
sometimes
gravy. We're gonna
we'll
buy
buy.
like we'll buy a mushroom gravy because gravy is your arch nemesis.
I can't make gravy. Dude, I'm like a pretty good cook, I would
You
say. Like I'm not like the best
very
cook
good
in the
cook.
world.
Very
I
good
think
cook.
I'm a good cook.
Yep.
I love to play around in the kitchen and just like either make weird shit. It very rarely goes wrong, but I like just to I like to cook.
Yep.
And I love to cook for you guys. So like something like this, I'm kind of excited because we usually eat so simple. It doesn't require like a ton of cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too. I honestly I can't
Yeah.
wait. It's gonna be
But
good.
the out of all of the things that I cook, I've cooked every Thanksgiving meal, I think since we've been married.
Yeah.
I've cooked this every Thanksgiving meal. I've cooked this every Christmas meal. Like I love that shit. But I can't cook gravy for the fucking
I
life of
know.
me.
You've tried many times and every time it's I don't know what happens.
I don't know. Because I
I don't
remember all of the years at my aunt's houses, fucking having my aunt tell me to stir the fucking flour. Like, okay, stir the like I have memories growing up of making this like with my aunts in the kitchen, but I can't fucking do it.
yeah. It's okay.
I don't know.
That's right.
It's okay. That is okay.
Yeah. But that'll
So,
be and of course for all the pies and everything we got a whipped cream
ooh,
Ready Whip makes a coconut based
yeah.
whipped cream which is
They
really
make
really
an
good.
almond one too.
They do. Yeah, they didn't have it in the store.
No, the coconut cream I think is like a little bit thicker and creamier.
I like the coconut one better, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
I think everybody else in the family likes the almond one, but
I think the macros on it aren't terrible. But I
yeah.
mean, it's for like 15 milliliters. It's like that's barely a squirt.
Yeah.
That's not how much whipped cream you're eating. So yeah, so good food we'll have this week. And
Mhm.
then 2 days after that is one of our kids' birthdays. So then we'll have extra stuff in the house. And then he wants me to make all this stuff for him for his birthday.
I know.
So we're gonna have a lot of food.
Yes.
A lot of food. I'm really worried.
But
So
what?
once Thanksgiving's over, this is like I'm stressing about a ton of shit right now.
Yeah.
So much going on at work. I've had really just this terrible, awful, like past 2 weeks have been really stressful. This week has just been god awful, and my brain is just like so fried at the end of my work day. I've been having like a really, really rough week. But the week after Thanksgiving, I have to go away for work for like 4 days, which I don't. I go away for work
Boo.
maybe once every 2 years for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 days. So it's like it's not that big of a deal. But I'm like, okay, there's a Gold's like 15 minutes down the street. I'm wondering what this like well-equipped hotel gym is going to look like. I don't think that they're going to have a fucking pendulum squat in the hotel gym. So I'm going to have to try to get to Gold's.
If they got a
But
Smith machine, you might be able to do Smith squats if
I
it's
might be,
decently equipped.
well, I mean, as soon as I check into this hotel, that's the first
Yeah.
thing I'm going to do is like walk by the gym and figure out what I can do.
Yeah, of course.
It's a pretty big hotel, so I'm hoping that there's like enough.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that's on my mind and I'm very worried about it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hopefully can get there in the morning. And then to make sure I can like moving throughout the day, I'm gonna be like the asshole in the back of like the thing, just like pacing back and forth.
Yeah. So you're gonna keep doing your steps. So
I'm gonna try.
so
I gotta figure out what I can do because we work like 16, 18-hour days when we do these things.
right.
So it
Yeah.
sucks.
Well, you'll be moving nonstop and wearing your watch, so
Hmm.
you'll be getting steps in for sure.
Oh, am I gonna look like an asshole wearing it on my ankle in like my fancy, my
You're gonna
fancy
get.
pants business suits?
I think you could wear it if you're walking. You just put it on your wrist.
Yeah, but I don't like to wear it on my wrist. It's not as accurate.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It just is. Um, what are you doing to manage stress? Do you take any of like the stuff that you do? Does any of that manage stress in your body?
Good question. I don't think so. I'm trying to think like what is the stress hormone? Was that cortisol?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when that's high, I think I'm trying to think of
You
like
just
any supplements that I take impact cortisol or like,
less
or
about the supplements because I don't honestly think
oh,
that like any of those kinds of supplements work. I'm talking about like do any of your PEDs do anything for like cortisol levels?
good question. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I gotta look into that. I know that there's definitely like it can affect it for sure.
Mm,
Um, I'll have to. Yes, I think some do. I don't know what they are off the top of my head.
okay. Because I was curious about that just from having the week I've had and like I tried like I can feel the stress going up, right? Try to breathe, get into the massage chair when I can, like go for like a walk around the block. Like there's only so much you can kind of do in your workday. I mean, the supplements are stupid. I'm not going to take anything just for that. Like I want to manage it on my own and not have to like rely on something.
Yeah,
But I was just curious with like the stress that you put on your body made me just wonder like, is there something that people take for that?
yeah, that's a good question. I, I don't know like each and every compound and how they impact cortisol specifically.
Yeah.
Like I gotta sit down and research and pull up reference material because I'm just not sure off the top of my noodle.
Yeah. Maybe
But
I didn't get to the PD module in our coaching certification yet. So
right,
maybe that'll tell me.
right,
Um, speaking of, I got through a couple. I'm a little bit further along than you are
yep,
in them. And going through the nutrition module came along salt, and you've been having an issue with salt post show,
yeah,
right? At first, you were
yeah,
what, way too much?
yeah. I think I was in post show mode and I was consuming like I was I'd eat like I'd put salt on my food, eat the first layer off this of food, and then put more salt on the second layer, and like just every time I covered unsalted food, I was putting more salt on.
Salt,
And
salt, salt.
so I was retaining water, and then that was too much. And then I think I pulled it back way too far, um, and started retaining water the other way. So
Mm.
if your sodium levels are too high or too low, you'll end up retaining water. Um,
Oh wait, when do you think you evened out?
well, I just started. So since this last check-in, since
So like a week ago.
yeah, roughly a week.
Okay. I'm just
Because
wondering because like 2 weeks ago you had like a big jump in weight, and then this week not so much. So I was
correct.
wondering if is it like offsetting each other? Do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a part of it for sure. Um,
Yeah. So somebody like you with the workout that you do, how much salt did it say you should be having a day?
I think it said 3 to 6 grams.
I thought it was 8.
The range I thought was 3 to 6, but
Oh,
maybe I looked at it incorrectly.
that's a
Uh,
lot.
it is a lot, which means, and I know for sure I wasn't hitting that,
Yeah.
just based off of like looking at the foods that I eat normally and
Hmm.
the sodium that's in them. The only, excuse me, the only thing that I I would have a hard time measuring is like the sodium in the the meat we make, because you
Yeah,
just kind of
I put a lot of salt in it. Yeah, I eyeball it. Spices
yeah,
I eyeball. I measure with my heart.
right. That's the only thing I would be like, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a like I mean, I pour that fucking salt in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
So
good because
there's
it gives a good flavor. Um,
well, that's what salt does. Salt is good.
Yeah. So I gotta, yeah. So I gotta up. I did some rough math on what my sodium intake is, and it's like it was about 4 grams, and then like the unknown is like the uh, the meat, and
So you're at 4 grams now, or that's where you were and you increased it?
that's where I'm at now.
Got
And
it.
I'm
Okay.
guesstimating too because like I'm not measuring how much I'm like putting on. Like I'm doing like
Like your actual
I
food
grab
and
this I
stuff.
grab the salt shaker and I'm just like shaking it on, but it's like not enough to impact the scale because it doesn't
Yeah.
have the enough resolution. So,
I hear you.
but yeah, so increased sodium. Again, kind of just based on eyeballing it a little bit with like how much I'm putting on food.
Mm.
Um, More than last week, and like I had swelling a little bit in my ankles, and that's gone down. So
Well, that's good. That's good.
yeah,
How many so after last week, we said we were gonna have a bird call.
yeah,
Caw, caw,
yeah,
caw, trying to
yeah,
get us out of talking with people at the gym.
yeah.
On Wednesday, I almost came and got you out of that conversation, but I was so mad I didn't.
Yes.
How many times this week was your workout delayed because bros just come up to you and talk to you about their PD usage and their cycles? Over here, I saw the one on Wednesday. Oh my God, and it made me so mad.
I think just that
But
one.
I kept overhearing him talking about DHED and yeah, my this injection, and I'm just like hearing words.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is he comparing notes? What's going on over there?
yeah. It was just honestly just the one time that pissed you off was the only time I think this week that somebody stopped me in like the middle of my workout and like
Mm.
we had an extended conversation. Um, but yeah, that was just the one time. And then that guy recognized us from the Y, but that was after our workout.
Yeah, we were on our way out. He was so cute.
Yeah,
He's like a college kid. And he like when we were over at the old gym, he was there. And there was a couple times he had come up to me, he'd seen I was training or I was like dieting down or whatever, but he was just like, "Oh, you like genuinely very nice kid. Like you kind of know what you're doing. Can I ask you a couple of questions?" Like,
mm,
sure. And he would ask questions about like diet and stuff. And he's just like a kid, seemingly like super eager to learn. Ran into him on Friday.
yeah,
And same thing. He came up to us and he was like, Are y'all bodybuilders? I recognize you from the other place."
yeah. No, yeah, it was super nice seeing him, and then he was like, "I got a question," and it was like he didn't have one question; he had many questions.
There were a series of questions.
Yeah,
And you know what's really interesting? And this is what I wanted to talk about before is the way that he asked his questions to us. And I'll tell you what he was talking about in a second. I started to think of like the reality of who this person is, right? Doesn't know a lot, just trying to like learn. So he said, I follow Dr. Mike something. I was like, oh, like we were both like, yeah, we follow Dr. Mike, like his content. But he follows all of these like different people.
yeah,
And my guess is, because I'm going to make an assumption, he's probably not listening. And this could be him. This could be something else because somebody in one of the female bodybuilding groups asked like a really similar question. So maybe you're following Dr. Mike and maybe you're following Jeff
Def-
Nippard. Maybe you're
yeah,
following like a bunch of different people, right?
yep,
but you're not paying for their full content. You're not like listening to the whole podcast. You're hearing a snippet of
Right.
information in like a 30-second clip without understanding the context of, the 40-minute conversation or like lecture, whatever
Right.
that came from, right? So he starts asking us about how can like what's a mini cut? Like didn't even know what it was, just kept hearing it.
Yeah.
And then he said, I saw so and so recommended if I'm going to do a mini cut to go
Just cut your calories.
drastic.
Yeah, cut your calories in half or
Cut your
something,
calories in half. So here's like
which is a
early
lot.
20s college guy.
Yeah.
He goes, I was at like 3,000 calories. I dropped to 1,400 like 3 weeks ago. And he's just like, the performance in the gym is just tanking. And I'm like, oh my God, why would you cut half your calories like that?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
poor guy.
Yeah. And we gave him, I think we gave him some good feedback. And we're just like, you should be, maybe a 200 calorie drop at most. And you
Like
got,
per week, like just
yeah.
nudge it down. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to watch, multiple things, right? Performance in the gym, weight on the scale, and then visually, how are things looking?
Well, he's gonna drop so fast.
Yeah.
But he's having performance issues. Like he can't lift as much at the gym. And then he starts asking about cardio.
Yeah.
How much cardio do you want to do? And I'm like, you don't need to do cardio to cut or lose weight. And I said,
Yeah.
unless you want to do it for your heart, right? Like
Yeah.
if you want to, go for it.
Yeah. And verbatim, he goes, I'm in college. I don't give a shit about that. Or something along the lines like, I don't give a fuck about
Which
heart
is
health.
it's like, I don't fucking give a shit.
Yeah. We're
We're
like, oh,
like, we're
okay.
standing here like almost 40. We're like, oh, okay, sure. You probably should, but whatever. But he was so sweet. And like, just like thinking back on that conversation, and we tried to steer him in the right direction and just like give him some very generic advice, right? Hopefully he'll listen.
Yeah.
But it started to make me think of, okay, like this kid too, right? Like, I don't give a shit about my heart, which is probably why there's so many young guys on PEDs and all that other kind of shit, right? But you're getting snapshots of information. You're not getting the full amount or like the true context of the conversation. Like I said, there is like somebody posted in one of the like first time bikini bodybuilding groups and said, their question was, who should I follow? I'm just trying to get into prep. Like, who should I follow on social media that's going to give me good information?
Mm.
And it was like, if you're trying, like you have a goal, a specific goal, and you don't know how to get there, you're not going to learn all of those answers watching 30-second reels on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, invest in yourself. Find somebody's course. They're probably offering a short course or like a workout program or whatever, and invest in that singular piece of information before listening to all of these other things out of context. And maybe that's a privileged thing to say, but bodybuilding is a privileged sport. It costs money to do all of these things. Pay for that extra effort. Pay for the information, right?
Yeah.
And if you are just like a poor college kid and you don't have that kind of money, that information's out there, but it's not going to be on social media. Like if you're willing to read, there's so much information on the internet, but you're not going to just get it in 20 seconds, 30 seconds on an Instagram reel.
Yep. For sure.
So that bugs me. So is my rant. Dig into a data source and learn everything, or learn everything that you can.
Yeah.
Not in little tidbits.
Or try to find a coach that will help you.
But the same thing, right? Yeah.
It's just like, go do the research yourself, or give it a coach to help you navigate what's already there.
Right. That's a good point. I don't think that kid has enough money for a coach.
For sure. I don't think he is. He does either.
That's what you're going to it.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely going to be towards option one, which is just like do your diligence and like really understand.
But dig into it.
Diet and training, sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, and just it's not coming in that way.
For sure.
Yeah. So how was your check-in? Tell me about your check-in. What were your wins this week?
So check-in was good. So water weight is, I think, down for sure. Only gained a pound, so I went from
So how big are you, baby?
219 pounds
Oh,
to
and you know what?
219.5 or something like that, 219 and a half.
And I have to say, I've gotten to a point whenever we go anywhere and you're wearing sleeves, I get so fucking mad.
You're
I'm
like, what
like,
is this? Get a
go
tank
put a
top on.
tank top on. We're
Get it.
about to go out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to show you off.
Yeah. You're like, let's go. I want you to be my man candy.
Yeah, exactly. Be my man candy. Come stand by me. Like, look all big and strong.
um,
I like
so
it.
yeah, so it's crazy. So my last off season weight, I was 223. So I'm 4 pounds from what that weight is, and I'm way leaner than I was.
Yeah, you still
Uh,
have abs, like
yeah,
very visible abs.
yeah. Like I don't have any of the back fluff
You
that I had.
you got thick though.
Mm, hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, and so so I got the water weight down. Playing with the sodium. Talked to coach, got some feedback on that. Adjusted the sodium, which I think is why there was not a huge gain this week. I didn't go from like
Yeah.
7 pounds and then another 7 pounds, and then I fucking come in with my big fat face. But yeah, that was my check-in. I didn't get any feedback yet today, so we'll see how.
Think you're gonna get more food?
I don't think so because it's Thanksgiving week, and I think he knows I'm gonna be a little piggy, and
I think you're allowed. I mean, it's one day, right? Like
yeah,
if
one day's not
you're trying
gonna
to
kill
lose
you.
weight,
Yeah,
one salad's not gonna do it, right?
yeah,
Like
right,
same thing on the other side. Like you're
right,
not gonna gain 20 pounds from having a Thanksgiving.
right, exactly. So it's just like that. Yeah, it's gonna be that'll be just is what it is. So I don't think I'm gonna get a bump in food. I'm definitely saving my cheat meals for Thanksgiving,
Of course.
and yeah, that was my check-in. And then wins of the week of bench press on dumbbells is like I'm back up to bench press in 130s, which is great.
Mhm.
Um, and it's the one thing I hate about golds is like I'm getting 130s now for like 11 reps. So like I want to go up in weight, but the next jump in weight is 155 dumbbells. And that's
Whoa.
yeah, so it goes from
130 to 155?
yeah, so it goes from
Holy
260 to
shit.
310. Yeah, which I'm like, what the fuck? It's like such a huge jump.
So I've never picked up one of those giant fucking dumbbells. I've
Yeah.
never even looked at them. So I never like I
Yep.
didn't know that.
So it goes 130, 155, then 175. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like usually they're just 10-pound increments all the way up, and
5.
oh, well, I think the larger one, once you get past 100, they go by 10, I think.
Okay. Well, I don't fucking know.
Well, or maybe if you have an awesome gym, maybe they go by fives.
I've got those clippies that are 1.5 pounds. I put those on dumbbells sometimes.
Yeah,
But
I'll have.
it's only gonna be 5 pounds total because they're 1.25 each. You could put two on each dumbbell.
Do they make bigger ones?
I don't know. You should look into that.
Yeah, I might have to look into that because like that's such a huge jump.
It's a fucking crazy jump. Holy shit.
It's insane. So like that's a bummer. But good news
Oh,
is
oh, you could wear like weighted like wristy things.
oh, like wrist weights. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get like 5 pound. They make 5 pound wrist weights,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
they?
yeah. If you really wanted to, like if you were trying to like up it,
Yeah,
you could totally do that because the weight's bearing down like your wrist is the
yeah,
whatever holder of it, right? And so it's like by adding weight to the wrist, it's not
right.
on the moment arm.
Yeah,
It's the same.
I might try it, but yeah. So anyway, win of the week.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Dude, what about your squats, you
Yes,
monster over in the
yeah.
corner?
Squats are up to 445. I got 10 reps.
Four
Yeah,
fucking 45. That's
445.
insane.
I know 500 is like in sight. I feel like it's within spitting distance. Nah, maybe not spitting distance, but anyway, it's closer than it was before.
Close.
And yeah,
For 10
500.
reps? What was
Yeah,
your back offset?
405. I did two sets of I think 11 or so. Yeah, 11, 10.
Jesus.
405. Yeah, I'm like crushing. Like ever since you got in my head, I'm like, fuck it, we're going another 10 pounds this
Yeah.
week.
Because you can. Because you can. I only said that to you because I knew you could and I knew you wanted it.
Yeah. So that's when you heard me grunting in the corner in my squat cage like an asshole. I was like, get back on.
I know I was talking to Tristan and you caught both of our eyes and I was just like, this fucking monster over there.
Just doing my best, trying not to shoot my spleen out of my ass.
You always you have to go to the bathroom before you do squats or it might not
Oh
be
my
pretty.
God. Yeah, no, I try to go to the bathroom at least 3 times before like doing heavy squats. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy who shits his pants.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so gross.
It's what I'm being honest. I'm like,
I get it. I get it.
I do whatever I got to make sure I'm not that guy.
I can't squat. I've been loving the belt squat. I love that. It hurts the shit out of my hips though. My hips are like still bruised from Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I could do that. I can't load it on my back though. That's insane. You're fucking insane.
Thank you, baby. Yeah.
You're welcome, baby.
How was your check-in, your wins of the week? What do you got going on?
Okay. So I just finished week 4 of the SIBO protocol.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, some of my bacteria killers change. So I'm like kind of nervous, like, oh God, what's going to happen now? Like, is something going to change? But this week I had a lot of changes in just my whole digestive system. I was hungry for like the first time in a while. For like the last few weeks, even before starting this, I was struggling to get all my food in because I would just be so uncomfortable and in pain. And so like just bloated and insane, like just insanely bloated, that it would be uncomfortable to try to still eat. So I was very regularly under my macros. And I just couldn't get more food in. This week, for the first time, I was like hungry. So I ate all my macros Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I ate, I think Wednesday I hit them too. Thursday, I went a little bit over. So this is like four days, like actually like getting to it, which was huge because I haven't been there in a while. And then Clarissa was talking to me throughout the week and she goes, if this still keeps going and you're still hungry, take your refeed on Friday. And I did. So I got my macros plus an extra 60 carbs on Friday.
Right.
And it's amazing. Now, whole GI is a little bit different story this week, but things are improving. If I'm like hungry every day, whereas like I hadn't been, gut issues take so long to heal. Like I'm seeing progress. That's a good thing. That's a normal thing, what my body should be experiencing.
Right.
So that was really good. Check-in wise, I was like a 1/10 of a pound less than last week, which is also good because I ate more this week. Pictures look good. I mean, I'm kind of holding steady right now. I start prep in 2 weeks. So I get Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And then I get the week after while I'm traveling. I'm going to bring all my food with me anyway.
Right.
But at least like with all of like that work stress, I won't have like the extra stress of like starting prep. And then I start prep. So 2 weeks.
Exciting.
First show is April 12th.
Exciting.
Yeah. That one's in, hold on, because I'm looking at my board. That one's in Houston. And then
we'll be able to drive to that one.
Yeah, we'll be able to drive to that one. And then in May on my board. So these are the things that like I'm reaching towards. Baltimore for an OCB show. And then they just released the date of the, I don't know, Elisa something Garcia.
Yeah.
Her natural event is in Austin. It's NPC Naturals. It is June 6th. The natural event's on Friday. And so it's like less than a month from the OCB show. So I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to reverse into it because if I place top 3 at my OCB show, I'll qualify for the urine. And that's what I want to do. I want to qualify for the urine, but that's not till September. So I think I'll have some time to like come up a little bit and then come back down again. And so, assuming that I qualify, I'll like reverse in and I'll just do that show. I won't like go through like we'll see how I'm looking, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna do anything like extra special for it. I'm just gonna do it. And that would just doing it qualifies me for the Ben Wielder Nationals. That is in November.
Mm.
So that's the whole plan for my year.
That
Qualify
is
for the Yorton.
right.
And if I qualify for the Yorton, stay for the Ben Wielder Nationals. Because then if you win that, you win your class, you become an IFBB pro. So I'm gonna that's my plan.
Which would be sweet.
Fuck yeah, it'd be sweet. Just raking in pro cards. I have no idea if I would actually beat that though, right? Because we were talking about that last week. Saw a bunch of people that they're following those rules, right? Only 3 years. So
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, yeah, like we were saying last week, I think that, even when you're off for a couple of years, you don't lose all the gains.
you don't lose all the gains. So
Yeah, so
that was my check-in. Good things, wins of the week, being hungry.
yes,
I had really good strength gains on like the latter half of the week with the additional food. So things are going good.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. All right, I think that's it for this week's episode.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week for episode 16.
Woohoo. Bye.
Bye.